High in the Himalayas, where the air thinned and the world seemed to touch the heavens, there existed a realm of breathtaking beauty and daunting challenges. In this majestic expanse, where the mountains scraped the sky, lived a young Sherpa named Tenzin. His village, a cluster of humble homes, was perched on the edge of the world, surrounded by the towering peaks that seemed to guard it. Tenzin was born in the shadow of giants, his village nestled within sight of the mighty Chomolungma, known to the world as Everest. The mountain, with its snow-capped summit piercing the sky, was a constant presence in his life, a silent sentinel watching over him. From a tender age, he dreamt of scaling its icy flanks, of standing triumphant upon its hallowed summit. The stories of climbers who had braved its treacherous slopes filled his imagination, fueling a desire that grew stronger with each passing year. The mountain was more than just a geographical wonder. It was woven into the fabric of his being, a silent, majestic call to adventure. It represented not just a physical challenge, but a spiritual journey, a quest to discover the limits of his own endurance and courage. Tenzin's heart quickened every time he looked upon Everest. The sight of its towering peak, shrouded in clouds, filled him with a sense of awe and a burning desire to conquer it. He knew that climbing Everest was not just about reaching the top, but about the journey, the struggle, and the triumph over adversity. He felt an inexplicable pull towards its daunting slopes, an intrinsic need to conquer its challenges. The mountain called to him, its silent voice echoing in his dreams, urging him to take up the challenge and prove his mettle. It was a dream that consumed him, a fire that burned bright within his soul. Every day, as he went about his chores, the vision of standing atop Everest, looking out over the world, filled his thoughts. It was a dream that defined him, a goal that gave his life purpose and direction. Fueled by his dream, Tenzin dedicated himself to rigorous training. He honed his body and mind, preparing for the ultimate test. He ran up steep mountain paths, each stride a testament to his unwavering determination. He climbed lesser peaks, acclimatizing to the thinning air and learning the unforgiving nature of the mountains. Tenzin learned the ancient techniques of ice climbing, his movements becoming a dance of precision and strength. He studied weather patterns, memorized routes, and mastered the use of ropes and ice axes. Every day was a step closer to his goal, every challenge a testament to his unwavering commitment. As the day of the expedition neared, a shadow of doubt began to creep into Tenzin's mind. The stories he had heard since childhood, tales of lives lost and dreams shattered on the slopes of Everest, resurfaced with a vengeance. He was plagued by images of treacherous crevasses, unforgiving blizzards, and the ever-present threat of altitude sickness. The mountain of his dreams had transformed into a monstrous obstacle in his mind. Fear, insidious and consuming, threatened to extinguish the fire that burned within him. He questioned his abilities, wondering if he was truly worthy of standing on the roof of the world. Seeking solace and guidance, Tenzin sought out the village elder, a grizzled old Sherpa named Pasang, who had conquered Everest twice. Tenzin had heard tales of Pasang's bravery and wisdom, and he hoped that the elder could provide the answers he so desperately needed. The village was nestled in the shadow of the great mountain, and the air was thick with the scent of pine and the sound of distant prayer flags fluttering in the wind. Pasang listened patiently as Tenzin poured out his fears and anxieties. The young climber spoke of the daunting challenges he faced, the uncertainty of the path ahead, and the weight of expectations that seemed to press down on him like the very snow of Everest. Pasang's hut was warm and inviting, a stark contrast to the cold, harsh world outside. When he was finished, Pasang smiled gently, his eyes reflecting the wisdom of countless seasons spent battling the elements. He had seen many young climbers like Tenzin, each with their own fears and dreams. His gaze was thoughtful, as if he was looking not just at Tenzin but through him, into the very heart of the mountain itself. "Fear, young one," Pasang said, his voice deep and reassuring, "is not the enemy. It is a part of us, a natural response to the unknown. It is what keeps us alive." Pasang's words were like a balm to Tenzin's troubled soul, offering a perspective that he had never considered before. It is a part of us, a natural response to the unknown. It is what keeps us alive. Tenzin reflected on these words, feeling a sense of relief wash over him. The fear that had once seemed so overwhelming now felt more manageable, a companion rather than an adversary. It is what keeps us alive. Pasang continued, "The key is not to let fear paralyze you, but to acknowledge it, to understand it, and to use it to your advantage. Fear can be a guide, showing you where you need to be cautious, where you need to prepare more thoroughly. It can sharpen your senses and make you more aware of your surroundings." He continued, "The key is not to let fear paralyze you, but to acknowledge it, to understand it, and to use it to your advantage." Tenzin listened intently, feeling a newfound sense of clarity. He realized that fear was not something to be banished, but something to be embraced and understood. With Pasang's wisdom, he felt ready to face the challenges ahead, knowing that he carried the strength of the mountains within him. Section 5. Embracing the fear within. Pasang's words resonated deeply with Tenzin. He realized that trying to suppress his fear would only amplify it. He needed to confront it, to accept it as a companion on his journey. He began to see fear not as a weakness, but as a source of strength, a reminder of the magnitude of his undertaking. Tenzin focused his training, using his fear as fuel to push himself further. He visualized every step of the climb, embracing both the challenges and the triumphs. He imagined himself standing on the summit, a sense of accomplishment washing over him. Section 6. The Ascent, Turning Fear into Fuel. The day of the climb arrived. Tenzin, his backpack laden with supplies and his spirit fortified by newfound resolve, set foot on the slopes of Everest. The climb was grueling. The air grew thin, each breath a labored effort. The biting wind pierced through layers of clothing. Through it all, Tenzin clung to Pasang's words. He acknowledged his fear, felt it course through his veins, but refused to let it control him. He used it as a motivator, reminding himself that every step forward, no matter how small, was a victory. Section 7. Triumph on the Top of the World. After what felt like an eternity, Tenzin finally stood on the summit of Mount Everest. As he gazed out at the breathtaking panorama, tears welled up in his eyes. He had done it. He had not only conquered the mountain, but also the fear that had threatened to hold him back. In that moment of triumph, Tenzin realized that he was not the same person who had set out on this journey. He had been tested, both physically and mentally, and had emerged stronger, more resilient, and more alive than ever before. Section 8. A Legacy Forged in Fear. Tenzin's story became a beacon of hope and inspiration for the villagers. He had not only achieved his dream, but had also shown them that fear, when confronted and harnessed, could be a powerful catalyst for growth and transformation. He returned to the mountain many times not to conquer it, but to guide others, to share his story, and to impart the wisdom he had gleaned from his experiences. He became a symbol of courage, a living testament to the indomitable spirit that resided within them all. Section 9. Beyond the Clouds, A Lesson for Life. Tenzin's journey transcended the realm of mountaineering. It was not just about reaching the summit of the world's highest peaks, but about the personal growth and transformation that occurred along the way. Each step he took was a testament to his resilience and determination. It spoke to the very essence of the human spirit, its ability to overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. The mountains he climbed were not just physical barriers, but metaphors for the obstacles we all face in life. His journey was a vivid illustration of how perseverance and a positive mindset can help us conquer our own personal mountains. It taught us that fear is not an adversary to be feared, but a force to be understood, embraced, and ultimately harnessed to propel us towards our goals. Tenzin's story showed that fear can be a powerful motivator, pushing us to achieve things we never thought possible. By facing his fears head-on, he was able to unlock a strength within himself that he never knew existed. His story served as a powerful reminder that the greatest mountains we must climb are often within ourselves. The internal struggles, the doubts, and the fears are the true challenges we must overcome. Tenzin's journey was a metaphor for the inner battles we all face, and his triumph was a beacon of hope for anyone struggling with their own personal challenges. It is in acknowledging and confronting our fears, in embracing the unknown, and in cultivating the courage to step outside our comfort zones, that we truly discover the boundless potential that lies within us all. Tenzin's story is a testament to the power of the human spirit, and a reminder that we are all capable of achieving greatness if we have the courage to take that first step into the unknown.